Now let's look at some examples, how to use the infinite limits. Okay, so now the first example, the limit x approaches 0 minus of x squared plus 1 over x. Okay, so this one we know that it can be written as the limit x approaches 0 minus x squared plus the limit x approaches 0 minus of 1 over x. Okay, so for the general limit, which means the limit is a finite number, for the first limit, we can just plug in the number 0, right? Plug in the number 0, so it would be 0 squared, which is 0. Plus the second one, which is 1 over x, but x is very close to 0 minus. That means x is very close to 0, but from the left side 0. Okay, so x is a negative number. So for example, it looks like 1 over negative 0.000000 and so on 01. Right? So this one would be very close to negative infinity. So this is negative infinity. So 0 plus negative infinity would be negative infinity. This is the first example. Let's look at the second example. The limit x approaches 2 minus. So you cannot plug in 2 directly, right? If you plug in 2, you have 2, 1 over 2 minus 2 is 1 over 0, which is undefined, right? Undefined. So you cannot plug in 2 directly, but we know it's close to 2, okay? It's close to 2, but less than 2, right? It's close to 2, but less than 2. So 2, x minus 2 would be close to 0, but less than 0, right? So it would be, looks close to 0, less than 0, it's very close, it's like the 0 minus, right? So it would be 1 over 0. We can use this symbol to help you to understand, but it's not a very formal way to write down this expression. But it will help you to understand. It would be 0 minus. The denominator would be 0 minus. That means it's close to 0, but less than 0. So you can see that I will not write as 1 over 0. This is undefined, okay? But it's 0 minus, that means which is not 0, close to 0, but a negative number. So it would be negative infinity, which is this case, right? So now let's look at this example. Approaches negative 4 minus. So x plus 1 over x plus 4, right? So this is the limit of x plus the limit x approaches negative 4 minus over 1 over x plus 4. For the first limit, this is just that you can plug in negative 4, not negative 4 minus, okay? Here is you plug in negative 4, so it's negative 4. Plus, the second one, you cannot plug in negative 4. If you plug in negative 4, it would be 1 over negative 4 plus 4, which is 1 over 0. This is undefined, right? Again, undefined. But we care about, we can look at this x approaches negative 4. So the negative 4 minus, right? Negative 4 minus, so this is the, so let's look at let's look at the denominator. Denominator is x plus 4, so it's negative 4 minus, so it's close to negative 4 but less than negative 4, plus 4. So this one would be very close to 0, right? But it should be less than 0, right? Because, for example, if you choose a number negative 5 plus 4 equals negative 1, so it's a negative number, right? So here, negative 4 minus, that means very close to negative 4, but less than negative 4. If you add 4, it would be a very close to 0, but less than 0, so we use 0 minus. So this one would be 1 over 0 minus, okay, not 0. Here 0 minus, so that means it's very close to 0 but less than 0, so this would be negative 4 plus negative infinity, so it's equal to negative infinity. Okay, so now let's look at this example. The limit x approaches 4 minus e to the x over x plus x minus 4 to the fifth. Okay. So we know that we can take the limit for the numerator and take the limit for the denominator. Right. So for the numerator, you just plug in negative 4 directly, so it's e to the 4th. For the denominator, you cannot plug in 4 because if you plug in 4, this limit would be 0, then the denominator would be 0, it's undefined, right? But we can do that. We x approaches 4 minus, that means close to 4, but less than 4, right? So x minus 4 would be 4 minus minus 4, which is what? 0 minus, right? Close to 0, but less than 0. So 0 minus, so it's 0 minus. So it's less than 0, but close to 0, raised to the power fifth. So if you have a number close to 0, but less than 0, take the fifth power. 5 is an odd number, so it's still a number less than 0, but close to 0, right? So you have e to the 4th over 0 minus. So e to the 4th is a fixed number, right? So which is negative infinity also. So now let's look at last example. The limit x approaches negative 3 minus x plus 3 x squared plus x minus 6. So if you plug in negative 3, it would be negative 3 plus 3 over negative 3 squared plus negative 3 minus 6. It would be 0 over 0, which is called undeterminate form, right? So that means you need to simplify it. So let's factorize the denominator. So this is x plus 3 over x plus 3 times x minus 2, right? We factorize the denominator. So you see x minus 3, x plus 3 cancel out. It would be 1 divided out. So you will have the limit x approaches negative 3 minus of 1 over x minus 2. So here you try to plug in negative 3, right? Yes, we can do that. So this would be negative 3 minus 2 equals negative 1 over 5. So sometimes the limit has nothing to do with the infinite limits, right?